Betrayal cuts deep, but the revenge that follows is legendary. From abandoned heroes to forsaken legends, we are counting down the absolute best isekai revenge masterpieces. Kicking off our list at number 8, Arifureta. From commonplace to world's strongest. Hajime Nagumo is an average student transported to a fantasy world alongside his classmates. While others receive god-tier abilities, Hajime is stuck with a weak transmutation skill. After being sabotaged by a classmate and left for dead in a lethal dungeon, he undergoes a brutal transformation. Consuming monster flesh to survive, he evolves into a cold, gun-wielding powerhouse warrior. This series is the ultimate edgy power fantasy that defined the modern betrayal trope. Watching Hajime go from a timid boy to a ruthless anti-hero who crafts high-tech weaponry in a magic world is incredibly satisfying. While the CGI monsters are a bit hit or miss, the sheer grit and the dynamic chemistry between Hajime and Yue keep the momentum high. Moving down the rankings to number 7, The Rising of the Shield Hero. Naofumi Iwatani is summoned as one of 4 legendary heroes, only to be falsely accused of a heinous crime by the kingdom's princess. Stripped of his dignity and resources, the shield hero must survive in a world that hates him. He builds a loyal party from the ground up, utilizing innovative shield tactics to protect a world that initially turned its back. The emotional weight of Naofumi's journey is what makes this a standout classic. You truly feel the frustration of his isolation, making his eventual rise to prominence and the clearing of his name feel earned rather than given. It is a masterclass in world building and character development, showing that a hero's greatest weapon is often their resilience and integrity. Continuing the countdown at number 6, Failure Frame. I became the strongest and annihilated everything with low-level spells. Tuka Momori is discarded by a cruel goddess who deems his E-rank status worthless. Cast into a disposal ruin filled with deadly creatures, Tuka discovers his supposed useless status ailments are actually broken. Absolute success abilities. Armed with paralyzing and poison spells that never miss, he begins a dark quest to climb back to the surface and slaughter the arrogant deity. Failure Frame takes the underdog concept and applies a terrifyingly efficient logic to it. Tuka is not a brawler. He is a strategic executioner who uses status effects to dismantle enemies far stronger than him. The dark, atmospheric tension of the ruins creates a perfect backdrop for his cold-blooded quest for vengeance against the divine authorities who abandoned him. Breaking into the top 5 at number 5, Tsukimichi, Moonlit Fantasy. Makoto Misumi is summoned to another world by a goddess who immediately insults his appearance and dumps him in the wasteland. Abandoned by the divine, Makoto discovers that the world's harsh environment actually grants him astronomical levels of magical power and physical durability. He eventually builds a thriving, multicultural city of demi-humans while ignoring the goddess's prejudiced human heroes. This series offers a refreshing, comedic spin on the betrayal genre. Instead of becoming a brooding edgelord, Makoto focuses on commerce and community building, which makes his overwhelming power feel grounded. The animation is vibrant, the fights are explosive, and watching Makoto accidentally become a god-tier threat to the very world that rejected him is pure, just unadulterated entertainment. Charging forward to number 4, the world's finest assassin gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat. The world's greatest assassin is betrayed and killed by his own organization, only to be reincarnated by a goddess. His new mission is to use his modern killing expertise to assassinate a prophesied hero who is destined to destroy the world. Born into a noble family of assassins, he combines advanced chemistry and modern ballistics with high-level fantasy magic. This is a sophisticated take on the genre, blending tactical espionage with traditional isekai tropes. The protagonist is calculated and professional, treating every encounter like a high-stakes contract rather than a typical shonen brawl. It is fascinating to see how modern assassination techniques translate into a magic system, making him one of the most uniquely capable leads in years. Landing at the podium at number 3, Spirit Chronicles. Ryo is a young orphan living in the slums who suddenly regains memories of his past life as a Japanese student. After being falsely accused of kidnapping a princess and tortured by the kingdom's knights, he flees to his ancestral homeland. Ryo masters a unique form of spirit arts, becoming an incredibly powerful warrior while searching for his true identity. Spirit Chronicles excels at balancing a sprawling that multi-continental epic with a deeply personal story of loss and redemption. The production quality is high, featuring fluid combat sequences and a beautiful soundtrack. Ryo's journey across the world feels like a genuine adventure, and his steady progression into an unstoppable force is handled with great pacing and satisfying emotional payoffs. Almost at the summit at number 2, Ningen Fushin. Adventurers who don't believe in humanity will save the world. Nick is kicked out of his veteran adventuring party and dumped by his girlfriend on the same day. He retreats to a tavern where he meets 3 other outcasts who have also been betrayed and exploited. Bound by their shared cynicism and lack of trust in others, they form an unlikely team of survivors to conquer dungeons and reclaim their lives. This entry is special because it focuses on the psychological aftermath of betrayal. It is not just about power, it is about trauma and the slow process of rebuilding trust. The group dynamic is realistic and gritty, providing a grounded perspective on the adventuring life. It's a character-driven narrative that proves strength is often found in shared scars and survival. And finally, reigning supreme at number 1, Redo of healer Keiaru is a healing hero who is enslaved, drugged, and brutally abused by his fellow heroes for years. Discovering that his healing magic can actually heal the very world itself, he triggers a cataclysmic time reset. He returns to the past with all his memories intact, determined to inflict unimaginable psychological and physical torment on those who previously broke him. Redo of Healer is the most controversial and extreme revenge story ever animated. It pulls no punches, portraying a protagonist who has completely discarded his humanity in exchange for absolute retribution. The sheer intensity of Keiaru's vengeance is unparalleled, making it the definitive watch for anyone looking for the most hardcore, uncompromising version of the betrayed hero archetype ever created. Watching a hero rise from the ashes of betrayal to dominate their enemies is the ultimate catharsis. These titles represent the absolute peak of the revenge isekai genre. Which of these betrayed protagonists had the most satisfying comeback in your opinion? Share your personal favorites below.